fine.
Agreed.
Didn't want to kick it for some reason.
Agreed, 100%.
Get this chair, I'm just getting
It's not the chair, really.
Oh, great, that probably just.
You're fine. I just didn't want to unplug it right now.
Bryant.
No, I think it might belong to the court people.
Pretty sure it's Bear Bryant.
Got it. Don't have time to run it back.
They can eat 2 times and punt it on 3rd down. And there's ways. You don't have to do that. You're not doing it to me. You're doing it to kids.
Oh.
They make you feel good.
Pass out.
Actually, Narcan that goes in the nose. Yeah, safety gave it to us. Jeremy, Jenny is out of town. Marcy's out of town. And April. But I think we're still gonna have one.
They're like off the grid tonight. Have you ever called?
I think we already got one. I think we do already. 1, 2, 3,
I'm still trying to find out where I am.
6, 7, 8. I think I'm missing 9.
Morning.
Yeah,
How are you?
Hello?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Have you heard from Sean Cummings?
Just be really glad it's not new money. It's like,
All right, Mom. That's a bad part about this, is you never know where the funding is.
I didn't hear back from him.
No, I'm doing all right. How you doing?
fall break. I'm trying to be done.
You're never going to be done, Mike. You can't sit still that long.
2 short weeks.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Local
Everything
control.
doing all right at the old Autry?
What do they want to choose to do?
I couldn't
I know
believe we
who's
couldn't
pretty
get their quarterback.
All right, well, looks like we're about 2 minutes behind. But I kept waiting on a gavel and I didn't get one. That's all right.
Ouch.
Anyway, so I'll call us to order. And Summer, if you'll call roll.
David Mason,
Here.
Sandra Robinette,
Here.
Marcy Mack, did not see her. John Blankenship.
Here.
Jesse Ashlock. Here. Ken Gertie.
Here.
April Danahay, did not see her. Sean Cummings, did not see him. Jeremy Heiss was not going to be able to make it. Jonathan Waddell? No. Keaton Francis.
Here.
Jennifer Smithson, did not see her. George Pankinen.
Here.
Dwight Hughes.
Here.
And Dudley Darrow.
Here.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, you have a quorum.
Okay, good deal. Item number 2, consider approval of minutes of the rescheduled regular meeting of the Vance Development Authority of August 19, 2025. Has everybody had a chance to look at those minutes?
I make a motion. We approve this.
Okay, I have a motion
Second.
and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion does pass. Item 3.1, consider approval of the Vance Development Authority 2026 regular meeting schedule. And I think that schedule is in here. Has everybody had a chance to look at those? Yeah, it's on the very back page. January 22nd, April 21, July 21, October 20. I know it's hard to know that far out sometimes, but unless you have any questions, I'll look for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, schedule does pass. Item 3.2, update on Eisenhower Elementary School construction project. Dr. Darrow, this
I don't have a lot to talk about. Still in the design portion. I got some updated renderings here. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful school, as you guys can see. Going to be facing the northwest again, and what's wonderful about it's the land. We have the land to build it without demolition of the old one until it's done. So we'll be able to keep school moving forward and keep the kids going well. But the design's coming in well. Don't have a total budget yet, but we're cautiously optimistic it's going to be a really good number. a little bit lower than what we projected a couple years ago because of building costs have gone down. So we're fingers crossed on there, and we're moving right along.
Yeah, let me know how that goes.
Yeah, that's great. It's a good-looking facility, so we're certainly excited about that. I did get a call from our superintendent because he was not getting any response back from
Department of Defense.
yeah, and so a lot of that's because of the shutdown of the government. So, but I've been in contact with some of the leadership, so they're just waiting until that's over so they can move forward. So,
Dr. Darrell, when do you think the plans will be done? All the engineering?
They've got to be done by December 31st, and we're very close already. So I would say by the 1st of December, we should be done.
Okay.
Now, we've also, once we get the design portion done, we've already submitted our application for the build, and we'll go through that process again and getting accepted for the build. But since phase one's already been accepted and approved, we anticipate phase two will be much easier. So hopefully we can get some dirt moving early spring,
good.
early winter, January, February.
and all through that process, each step, DOD approves that each time. So,
Good.
we look for that to proceed.
It's going to be a beautiful facility, I think. So, any questions or comments?
Just one thing, Dr. Darrell, when they do decide to make the ribbon cutting, I mean, put the shovel in the ground and do that. Groundbreaking. Let me know. I'd like to invite the chairman for the Strategic Military Planning Commission and maybe some of the representatives that helped us get those last couple of bills through.
Absolutely.
So we need to make sure that they're in attendance.
Yeah, I'll make sure we will make that a big deal if and when.
I'm
One other thing I might add, and just a conversation piece, but when we get this done, this is going to be a building that's going to hold up to 350 kids. We will probably rezone some elementary schools to fill up that new elementary school. As you guys know, we currently have 110 students out there. So we will shift some of our boundaries a couple years from now whenever we do get it opened up. So something to think about. We're not going to do anything crazy yet, but we will look to try to balance our enrollment across the district. So.
I will say, since George brought this up, I know when this was passed, there were some senators and reps that were concerned, why were we giving money to a school that was owned by the military? And we've made very clear, and I've called the Adjutant General to make sure that he was aware of that. He hasn't called back since the other couple of days ago, but we made them very aware, when this was passed. Of course, the Speaker and the Senate Pro Tem understood that that was still a Enid Public School owned, and so it's just the way that it happened when we extended the gate. So we made sure you may get a call from the Adjutant General, so because the Department of the military in Oklahoma is where the money is set, for you to get eventually. The $6 million.
Right.
So, yeah, or the 5.
5, yeah.
Yeah. So, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Any other comments? Okay. I will go to 3.3. Discuss the Great American Defense Community Award.
So the Great American Defense Community Award was created back when I was president of the Association of Defense Communities, so we really haven't pushed too much because I didn't want, once I was either outgoing pres or still on the exec board and all that, to, put a nomination forward because I was the one who created it initially. So, but it's time now. So, and I think we have good reason to be nominated. Plus, this year is the 50th anniversary of the Association of Defense Communities, so it'd be a great year for us to be recognized for that. I'd mentioned it, or you had mentioned it to me as well. And so probably what we'll do, or what would be good, John, is all of us that have done, the Altus Award thing, because a lot of those similar things, it's more directed on community support, military family, and those type of things that we do. So I think, it won't be due till later, early, April time
Still waiting on a
frame.
response to know when it's due, so I didn't know.
Yeah. So we'll probably be asking those of us that have worked on those before, because we've got a lot of data that we'd want to, put in there. But it's time to do that. And when they do it, and I've done it, I've gone to many communities across the U.S., attended pro football games and all that to give out the flag, because you get a flag presentation, from Association of Defense Communities, and usually, some DOD people, Air Force people, if we get it, come to do that and help present that flag to your community. So you have that forever, essentially, that designation. So we're going to do that. So I think that it's time for us to get recognition for that.
Our communications department would be, they can be involved and help with that as well.
Yeah, because if you get it, then they usually create a, film, that they can produce that you show at the annual conference in DC. And again, this year it'll be big deals. We talked this morning, 50th anniversary of that. So, okay.
Item 3.4, discuss Vance Air Force Base's medical priorities and issues.
This came up, Mayor, after all the MLAs were here, the congressional delegation, all their aides were here, and we talked about issues and things like that. And Wing Commander, we talked a little bit about medical issues or priorities, and I know we have, someone from the medical, and that's why we create Vance Development Authority, for all of us to bring something to bear. I don't know what you want to say about it this morning, but we're certainly going to create a committee that's going to address some of the issues or concerns, but also sometimes you may not have any, but sometimes you do. So that's why we had this on here this morning.
Yeah, I'm happy to say a couple things about that. I don't know if I have to come to the mic or not. First off, really appreciate the partnership with St. Mary's Integris, and Vance is obviously a smaller base. We've got, I think, 2 family physicians. During the spring and summer months, we were at 50%, so we had one of those 2 positions filled up. So the other big change that was kind of occurring spring, summer months was our transition for TRICARE over to TRI-West. So I know that was an item of concern in making sure that providers had the ability to be able to kind of accept that. We've got some in-house capability for some specialties, mental health and physical therapy, but beyond that, it's all referrals outside. So about 70% of the referrals go to Enid, and then we've got some subspecialties that are a little more specialized that we will go outside the Enid area. So I think the concern that came up during the MLA was making sure that we're tapping into as many of the local resources as possible, again, with concerns with the Tri-West transition and making sure folks understand that. The Med Group had planned on an open house end of this month. Unfortunately, that has been canceled, and that's due to the government shutdown. So not canceled, but rescheduled. Once we got the government and an appropriation set up, we'll reschedule that. But that was intended to help with that transition if there's any issues with the insurance, TRICARE, TRI-West, knocking down any barriers there. But again, I think right now medical care is within standards per DHA, but there were concerns that were brought up, as Mr. Cooper mentioned during the MLA visit. So being able to dig in deeper on what those are and working together to make sure we're capitalizing on all the local resources would be really appreciated.
Okay, well, we'll get some folks, and we'll want to talk to some of your staff to understand, if there are issues going forward. And as we talked earlier about specialty doctors like bone doctors, baby doctors, neuro surgeon types, we want to always make sure we have what your critical needs are. So it'll be good for us to hear that from you or your staff. So appreciate that.
We really appreciate it, and thanks to this team as well.
Okay.
Colonel, stay up there. We may need, on number 5, 3.5, discuss Vance Air Force Base's housing needs. If you want us. The housing needs.
Yeah, sounds good. So housing needs, I think we brought this up previously as well. The big thing for us was the summer surge. So this year we had a big surge during the months of July, August, and the average student population is usually somewhere on the order of about 500 to 550. Today we're sitting at 780, pushing 800 students, and that is not expected to go down anytime soon. That is primarily due to the transition of UPT, undergraduate pilot training, to a new structure called IPT and FUPT, Future of UPT. where folks will go to a civilian institution for a period of time and then come back and get a military top-off. That will increase our throughput. There is a push at a Department of the Air Force level to try to get to 1,500 undergraduate pilot training students graduated each year. So Vance will increase our numbers to kind of meet that requirement as well. The residency rates this summer time frame, so beginning with government housing, 100%. So all the dorms, both officer and enlisted, those are capped out. We've got privatized housing on base. That is sitting at 98 to 99% at any given time. It's only 1 to 2% because we got throughput, folks coming in, going out. During that summer surge month, if you looked at the approximately 25,000 homes that were on the market, there were about 44 available that met the suitability for and the price range for those that are at Vance Air Force Base. So, and of those 44, there were some that were like trailers that you probably wouldn't want to go live in either. So there's absolutely a need. In the interim, we have gotten something called TLE, temporary living expenses approved, to waive that out. That's typically 21 days that the Air Force will pay for you to be in a hotel. That is now extended out to 60 months. We're just waiting on the OSD signature on that, but we think that's just about been approved. So that'll increase that interim time where they can stay at a hotel, and while something opens up, that's good for a year. So we'll be good next summer. We expect to be good next summer for that portion. But this year we did have folks that tapped into Airbnbs while they waited for the Esplanade or a similar type home to open up, and probably added a little bit of cost there, where again we'd like for them to be able to get right into a home where they're showing up and it's a little bit easier. So over the course of this year we expect, I think it's 240 more folks to be showing up with about 122 depart. There's a few other initiatives that are out there to try ease that burden, where we've got folks that are waiting to get to the formal training units, whether that's, hey, I finished flying the T6 or the T1 or the T38, and now I'm going to Altus to go fly the C-17. Right now it's on average about 9 months to get folks to the FTU. So there's a plan in place to try to get them to their home station units. If you're going to go fly C-17 at Charleston Air Force Base, where we're working with AMC and others within the Air Force, is to get them to Charleston, and then when their FTU slot opens up 8 months later, they can go to Altus, and that would free up bed space for us. It'd probably motivate them. They can go buy a home in Charleston, learn how to be a scheduler, a snacko, those kinds of things, and kind of start their life, as opposed to waiting here for that FTU slot and twiddling their thumbs doing an ad loot. I've got a number of lieutenants that are waiting for UPT to start in the front office helping out. So that's kind of where we're at in the housing piece. So there's absolutely demand, and we don't expect that to go down anytime soon.
So, and this kind of ties in, I think. So I've heard the discussion on, what do they call it, lead into bomber fundamental. Like, so if you do that, that's just something else that we're doing. And so you might want to say something about that, but or not. But my point, I guess, when you answer that, is that, so bottom line is, because we have a few people that are looking to build homes and they've wondered about this. So you certainly have a need. You have a need now for affordable, available, quality housing. You're probably going to have more. It's kind of why we're expanding the elementary school. So, if you were looking to build homes, it's probably a good time to do that. Affordable, available, quality homes. The size, would be right if it was.
Just looking at the numbers over the summer, I would.
So there's a good market there.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And you have people waiting now.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and the
Okay.
FBF thing, if you're not tracking, Vance used to have Introductory to Fighter Fundamentals, IFF. We are bringing what's called FBF, Fighter Bomber Fundamentals, which will basically combine T-38 graduate pilot training. So when you finish with the T6, about 8 or so pilots will go on to the T-38s and stay at Vance Air Force Base for that. That will combine what used to be IFF and graduate pilot training T-38s into one. That's now FBF. So it will extend it a little bit longer. So those T-38 pilots will be here a little bit longer than what we've traditionally seen today, where post T6s, they'll stick around for 7 months. It'll be a little bit longer as we roll in FBF.
Okay. And for those who don't, initially after the 05 BRAC, we had lead into fighter fundamentals, and then they moved it, to the other bases instead of spread out like they had it. So it's a good
Right.
Project for them to have at Vance.
Yeah. IFF is at Columbus and San Antonio right now, Randolph Air Force Base. So both Laughlin and Vance will get FBF beginning end of next year. We'll begin the road to introducing that back here at Vance.
Great. Well, again, I just wanted everybody to hear that, hey, we do have a housing need, affordable, available, quality housing. It's a good problem to have, but we just wanted folks to know that there was a need there. So we'll continue to follow that and see what we can do to assist that. So.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Again, thanks to
Colonel, I have talked to the local building association, told them where we're at. Can't seem to get a lot of interest in that. I've got a conference call on Thursday with a group out of Florida that may have some interest in doing that. So I would encourage anybody out there that knows any builders somewhere. We need houses here in Enid. I know we just said that, but you know, the deficiency that we have right now with the base, it's not a new school. You know, it's not a new runway. It's housing. Housing. So we need to find somebody that'll step up and want to take that on. If not here, and I wanted our local folks to know that, so when we bring in somebody from out of town, they won't be surprised, you know? And, but we're going to keep moving forward to try to find somebody. So.
I really appreciate it.
And Colonel, at the state level, there was an interim study a month ago, and I went to that. I know the House and Senate's kind of looking, it's an economic development issue to how to help housing in rural, you know, cities that have expansion, you know, either locally or bringing new jobs in, because they know that's a problem out in rural Oklahoma to get people to build those type of homes. So I think you'll probably see the state probably, and we'll certainly follow that, see how the state can assist, you know, with that as well. So
Perfect.
because they're really interested in helping defense in the state. So
Colonel, I had one question. You started out talking about your normal demand somewhere around 500, and then you made reference to 700. What specifically were you referring to on that?
Just the average student population
Okay.
on Vance Air Force
Okay.
Base. So with the summer surge, we had a bunch of students dropped on us. And again, that's partly maybe due to IPT. That's also just the summer sessions. So the academies just graduated, all the university students are graduated. So it's natural to see a rise during the summer months, and then we get them in classes and that attrits until, you know, May, June of the next year. But again, we're in a pretty high state, and I would say we had a higher number of students dropped on us this year than I think we've seen where they might meter them over the course of 6 months. They all kind of dropped in kind of midsummer.
Okay, thank you.
You bet.
Very good.
Excellent.
Any other questions or comments? Thank you, Colonel.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Item 3.6, discussion and updates concerning the Squadron Operations Facility. Coop, if you want to.
seems like every time we get a new wing commander, it's one of the first things we talk about is the squad ops facility. I know MLAs, when they were here, because, sir, I know that you know that our Senate and congressmen really want to help with this, and of course, the only way they can help is if it gets in the FIDEP, and then they, you know, whether you put it in the president's budget or not, and I mean the Air Force, or do they have the opportunity to do that? Of course, what we've been following, we did get a congressional ad for the 8.7, I believe, for engineering design. That is, you know, the Corps has the money. They were supposed to have a meeting or have a meeting. I don't know if they've had it yet or not, but they, you know, probably the government shutdown affected that too. But because our deal always has been, and what the congressional delegation expects of me is, well, can we please get it to that level where we can have it considered or not? And of course, we've been having those discussions. So yeah, if you have any update on that.
No, you hit it on the head. They were supposed to meet, I think, next week, and that is on pause pending the government shutdown, the appropriation there as well. The other note with the ops facility, again, appreciate the funding on the design piece.
Yep.
Part of it was the rescaling based on T7 operations, so that was another part that I think was unexpected, and with the changes focused, you know, or driven this meeting and discussion on what does that design look like moving forward. So a little bit further behind than I think anybody would like for it to be, but again, based on the changes where we are with T7 coming to Vance, we'll make sure it's the best fit for the ops facility moving forward.
and all of you know, all of the projects that we've received for Vance since the early 80s have all been congressional ads. So I've always followed this process, and before they eliminated earmarks and then they went back to having the process, they call it something different now, but still has to be at a certain percent designed before they can even consider it to be put in the FIDEP, and then the Air Force has to do that, not your congressional delegation, and then you don't want to get ahead of it either, but our congressional delegation, because they've been very helpful over the years to do that. That's why Lucas, because he's been around for over 30 years, so he's always pushing. His staff bothers me more than anybody on anything, because well, where are we at, on this? And so they understand, though, this process. So, and I think the timing, the last time we talked before the government shutdown was probably sometime, mid-year next year, before it got at the level that you could do that. Now, is that in time for there to try to do something? Well, it's kind of after they start, the following year's budget, because they usually start that in February next year. Now their opportunity till June to have it still put in the NDAA, but so I don't know where that's going to go. I know your guys' timing, even to have the thing completed, is 2030 something, I think.
Right.
But it takes a couple years probably to build it, and so that's why the delegation is really, asking questions. So they, and they've even wanted to help. The Corps of Engineers want to help us even more, so there's been input there, but it's just what it is. It's kind of like with Dudley's issue on the school, so we just have to wait. So, but I wanted everybody to know where that's at, and he's, that's one of the first things we talked about, so.
And I know ATC, as soon as we get the appropriation, 858 plans on coming out, we'll get the ball rolling on the discussion design. It was one of the things we were going to show to General Quinn when he was going to come out here as well, but again, unable to come based on the government shutdown there as well. So it was going to be another highlight, kind of what the path, intended path forward is with the ops facility. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Colonel Lundaby, thank you for being our guest speaker today.
But it is real important. Thank you for coming.
Oh, this is fantastic.
Because we're more effective that way, and again, that's why, we don't want to work on things that not important to you, so.
Any other questions on the Ops Center facility? No? All right, 3.7, discuss Association of Defense Communities Installation Innovation Forum. Coop?
I know that's the last week of this month, and that's the meeting that's really kind of most important if you follow things that we do with the Associated Defense Community, because they have the leadership from DOD and the services, all of the services, the people that we work with on any things that we do, whether it's, resiliency type projects, power, water, and things like that, or how do we help, quality of life issues, or how do we just do intergovernmental support agreements, how do we, do a lot of things, and even with airspace protection and all of those other things, you bring all the communities and states from across the U.S. in, and they hear what's important to the Defense Department and the services, and then you either choose to work on those or not. So that's why we're there, and we've always played a big role in that. The mayor and I will probably be part of different presentations because of the things we do locally and at the state level. So it just so happens to be in Monterey this year, so that's kind of a good place to be, I guess. But,
Sorry.
but that's where it's at, and it's there because a lot of the initial intergovernmental support agreements were done at Fort Ord, and then after it closed, then at the Presidio there. So the city of Monterey does every function, sewer, water, police, fire, trash. It really is the city that manages all things on base. So what's happened since that started about 20 years ago, now you finally moved all of the services, not just Army, where they try to do certain things like that for the Defense Department or the bases if it's a need. So that's why we go. So that's where it's at this year.
Okay. Questions? Okay. 3.8, our last item, update on the proffer of land to the U.S. Air Force. And I know several weeks ago, Ashley tried to put a reception together. And because of the shutdown, like the Colonel was saying, General Quinn wasn't able to come, but go ahead, Mike.
No, I'd
Getting
just
ahead of
say, it's a great thing. We now have it in our pocket. And again, because of this relationship, when you call us and tell us, we take action. The mayor, we made sure that was handled. And so, yeah, at any time, because it'd be great to have Quinn, since he's a former Vance commander like yourself, that it'd be great for him to come. And he was excited to be here, one of his first visits after he got nominated and all that. So that's a good thing. So we'll still try to do that. We'll just kind of wait and see if they ever get the government open. So we'll go from there, yeah.
So just so you're tracking, General Robinson, he'll retire 30 October is the date right now.
Yep.
General Tolis, the AU commander, will be the interim while we go through the nomination confirmation process for Major General Quinn. But his note to me after the fact was, I'm absolutely coming out. I'm excited to be there. So we can expect he'll be here as soon as, again, we got an appropriation and the schedule allows. So again, he's super appreciative, and I know it'll be a homecoming for him being able to come back as a prior wing commander. He was excited for the first one. I'm sure he will be for the next round.
Yeah, and I know all of you know, one of the best things we can do to protect that base is to make sure they have control of the assets as close to the base as we can. And this one just kind of got under the radar. I don't think any of us knew that you didn't have it, but we were sure glad to find that out so we could take care of it, because I know the mayor didn't want to have hunting down at the end of your runway.
So, yeah, we'll get that done. And, ironically, I know Coop talked to General Quinn's office and offered for us to go out there if that would be beneficial. He said, no, I want to come to Enid. So anytime we hear that, that's important. It's important to let them come up and see our community again and again. So I was very thankful to hear that. All right. That's all we have on the agenda. I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We are adjourned without a gavel.
Okay.
Missing, but I don't know what it is. I've forgotten something.